Thing changes. Hi, everybody. I was just laughing with Anna. Welcome to Meaningful Conversations with Anna and I. I was just laughing because I pressed the wrong Go Live button because there are two now, one at the top of StreamYard and one at the bottom. And, I was saying everything changes with technology there, changing things, updating things. Do you want to add this? Do you want to add an AI companion or whatever? Take AI notes. All these things are coming into our technology now. So welcome to our last session of 2025. And let me add, while I am here, to say Merry Christmas to all of you listening, all of you watching the replay. Welcome. And today we are talking about, after I welcome Anna, we're talking about keeping your dream alive. And so we're going to get into some really interesting, meaningful conversations about that, aren't we, Anna? So yes. Welcome, Anna. Lovely to have you here again in this session.
Lovely to see you, and lovely to see your smile there. And are you looking forward to the holiday?
I am, because I'm actually going to New Zealand again, which was a dream, a part of my dream I created some years ago, a couple of years ago, where I decided that I was going to travel to New Zealand 3 or 4 times a year. At that time, I didn't know how I was going to achieve that, because the how's not important, by the way, when we set our dream up. And so now I travel usually 4 times a year to go and visit my family and my 91-year-old mum. So that's what I'm doing on the 17th of December. I will be on a plane to Auckland, and I'm there for 1 day less than 3 weeks, which is amazing. So I have Christmas and New Year with my family and with my mum. So yeah,
lovely. That's amazing. Sometimes dream can be that ordinary and simple. However, got to be specific, like you said. 3 times a year or 4 times a year or whenever you want, right? When we were talking about keeping the dream alive, what's your thought on that one?
Well, first of all, what are you doing for Christmas? Are you looking forward to the break and Christmas and New Year and the holidays, Anna?
For me, I weave rest and pause and work into every week and like week and months. And I think that is like a cycle, like Sunday of the week is the rest day. For example, for me, Monday, Sunday is not the rest day for me. With the business at the moment, I structure it to rest on a different day of the week, but it have a cycle. And rest and pause for the year is also the same. Christmas for me lasts from around middle of December. And then January, we go to Canada. We have been doing that for the last few years. So we have about 6 weeks of rest and play. So that is our cycle. And each month, we also have the rest cycle as well. So I rest weekly, monthly, and yearly. And so for me, Christmas is spending time with my in-laws family, because over here, there are just 5 of us as the closest family, and then hang out with friends. Yeah. So we normally go to the beach or camping or going a few small trips around the Victoria. And then January we'll be in Canada skiing for a few weeks. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Wow, that sounds beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's in terms of dream. We talk a lot about living our dream. And then for that reason, we have to keep it alive. And that is really, sometimes we say dream, that make it feel like unachievable. But for me, dream for me is very ordinary and simple and normal. Like it's really common. Like everybody I talk to have similar dream. Like they want to have good health. I want to have a good relationship with my family and others people. I want to have that confidence to work with anybody, and I want to have enough resources and have full control of my time and have resources to do what I'm passionate about. And I think it's very common. It's very almost ordinary, like everybody else think the same. And I am the same. And I want to keep that alive, right? I want to keep working on that and keep improving and growing. What about you? What do you think of a dream? Or
Oh my goodness, Anna, you have just pushed all my buttons as a coach, as a quantum physics coach, and as the type of coach I am. Because, you know, what I teach my clients and what I got taught when I was training with Mary Morrissey at the Life Mastery Institute is to create a dream for that dream life, that 10 out of 10 life of something that you don't have now and that you would love to have. What would you love to be doing? Something big, because we're all here to do something important. We're all here on this earth to do something amazing, and we're all capable of it, and yet we often, or we're patterned to think about what everyone else does and what is possible for all of us collectively, and so what is possible for me. And also when you say I want good or I want enough, you use both those words just then. You said I want enough this, I want good that, I want good relationships, I want enough money, or whatever enough was. I didn't even listen to the second word you said after it, because when you say that, the universe has no idea. And we know that we are collaborating with the universe, right? Everyone on this show, on this session, be very sure, be very sure that we are in collaboration with the universe and the universal laws. And they operate on us the same as gravity does. We all believe in gravity. We all know about ergodynamics and things like that. We take them for granted. We'll take for granted that the universe and the universal laws we are in collaboration with. And so if you say, I want enough, the universe does not know what your enough is compared to my enough, compared to the multimillionaire's enough.
True.
Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, why would you settle for good when there's a couple of other words? There's great and there's extraordinary. And so we say to people, good is not enough. Good is not what you want. Good is mediocre. What you want is great or extraordinary, because our words carry an energy. And so if we're saying, I want good, when we could achieve great or extraordinary or any other word that is a much, much more meaningful, rewarding word, we'll just get the good, because the universe doesn't question what we are saying or asking for. It just does it. It's the same as our subconscious mind. It doesn't question what we say to it. If we say, I'm an idiot, our unconscious mind believes, subconscious if you call it that you're an idiot. And it will give you back the same kind of chemicals that an idiot might have going on in their body. Or if you say, I feel terrible and I'm sad and I'm depressed, guess what? You will be. And so I want to just quickly have a rundown on the 3 keys to living that dream life. Now, when we say, what is your dream? We're talking about that dream life, that 10 out of 10 in every single area of your life that we create results in. Dream relationships, dream business, dream freedom to do whatever you want, and financial freedom, career freedom, and dream health. And the 3 keys to doing that are, one, and it relates exactly to keeping that dream alive. The first most important one is having a crystal clear vision of what you would love your life to be like if you were living that life, where every morning you wake up and you go, oh my gosh, I just love my life. I can't believe I'm living this life. It's so amazing. With that feeling. It's not just about the words and thoughts, it's the feelings we have. So that's the first key to living an extraordinary life, is having that, writing it down in crystal clear clarity. So next time I speak to you in 2026, Anna, I I imagine that you will have your dream life written out and you will be able to read it to me of what your life is like now, and that it's what you would love it to be like, right? It's not what you have now you know how to do in your systems and your structures, because if it's stuff you know how to do, you're not dreaming big enough.
No, I do. I have my dream written down. I got the board, vision board. I know very specifically what I want to achieve in my life. So
but
yeah,
you said it was ordinary. You said it's ordinary like everyone else.
Like I see that, like everybody dreams of a similar thing, but because I guess when your starting point is you have always run a business, you've got multiple business, you've got multiple projects to work on. When my starting point was from working a job, I was in a workspace working multiple different jobs, thinking I could achieve my dream somehow through working a job. So from there to where I am now is a massive jump in terms of going for your dream. Because when I worked a job, my income was capped by the position, right? And then the time as well has been controlled within the job, because I have to report to a boss. I have to check in a timesheet when I turn up and when I leave. If I want to have time off for holidays or for my children, well, for my daughter, I had to ask for permission. From there to having the control of my time is a massive jump. And in order to achieve that, I got to make sure that my energy is managed, my time is managed, and my money is managed to be able to achieve that. And for that alone it's not achievable for a lot of people. If you work a job 9 to 5, and sometimes you bring work home and you think about it during the weekend, so you have to sacrifice a lot of other things to fulfill the role in order to earn the paycheck. With that, to have time for your health, have time for your family, and to have time and money and resources to follow your passion can be a massive dream that people cannot achieve, and they don't know how to break through that. Do you know what I mean? So for that reason, when I talk to people, having that autonomy, having the belief that you can create the life you want is itself a dream that is unattainable for a lot of people. So in that case, having a dream of having the autonomy with your time, with your money, and with your energy, those are the three important things that I think now we all need to manage and to know exactly how to create them or have more of them. Is enough a dream for people who are still stuck in a workplace. But for you, Karen, I know that you've been running your business, you have your autonomy, you're free to do whatever you love, since a young age. And I know you support many people to achieve that. And so for you, good is not good enough. Extraordinary and specific about that 10 out of 10. And I'm totally agree with you. So now, how do you help someone who, say, still stuck in, working for a paycheck?
Yeah.
To move and transition.
Yeah, and all good points, Anna. I think initially I want to point out the difference between having beliefs and having your dream. Because if we have a belief about something, it may be a belief about what we can or can't do, and what we would like to or wouldn't like to do, or what we would like to do, or how we would like to be like other people, or how stuck we are in our job where we're only earning an income. That's a belief. And like you say, also the words we use when we think about these things. So many, and these are super important, many people always say things like, I have to go to work. I have to go to work because, I need the money, have to. These are all words that are low energy words. So we're immediately putting ourselves into a frequency that is not going to give us what we would love, what we would be grateful for, what we would be joyful about, and what we would be happy about, because that's a frequency complete above, way, way above than what I need to do, what I have to do, what I should do. And so I guess I work with people to help them to understand that, like I said in the beginning, this is real, this collaboration with the universe, these universal laws and the quantum physics of it. And if you want to know more about that, Google people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, who talks about the neurophysics and the neurological paths that we create with our thoughts and how to change your life. And so over the years, I have studied a lot around that and listened to other experts. But I'm by no means an expert in this field. I'm learning every day, all the time. And the thing is, if we understand that our words are really, really a big part of how we receive our results, how we create our results, our words, our thoughts, because our thoughts are words, and then our feelings and emotions as a result of that. And so I guess I start with, and in fact, I was on a master coaching session before this, and the coach said, what do you want to be known as next year? What do you want everyone to know you as? And I came up with, what I came up with in the answer to that was the magic of the metaphysical world. I want people to know that I teach magic, the magic of the metaphysical world. And, she said, oh, yeah, that's great. She said, probably not many people know what that means, what the metaphysical world is. And this is so true. And it's the quantum physics of it. And quantum physics is a proven science. It's the most recent science that man has discovered. And so how I help people is I say, hey, you learned all this. You got your degree. You have your beliefs. You've learned things from the traditional way, the status quo way of thinking. I'm not going to tell you they're wrong. However, I want you to understand that there's more in this universe that you can learn about. And for me, it's the missing link. For me, the quantum physics and the magic of the metaphysical world, the understanding about how we operate from a frequency, we're giving out a frequency, and we attract back what frequency we're giving out. And so if we want great, wonderful, joyful, happy, grateful, things we're grateful for to come to us, then we've got to start from that place. It's the same as if you want to be loved, you've got to love yourself first, right? And so that's where I start, I guess, is I help people to understand, like I said, the 3 keys to living an extraordinary life. The first one is having that vision of what your life would be like if you were waking up every morning just so grateful, so happy, so joyful. I have such a wonderful life, looking forward to your day every day. Not saying we don't have challenges that come up. I'm not saying that at all. However, looking forward to what might come up with excitement and hope and, love as well. And then the second key to living an extraordinary life is becoming a vibrational match, which is what I just referred to. So when you create that picture all written down of the life that you would feel amazing living, you would feel, I love my life, you would feel so, so good. And then there's the dream, and here's how you operate. Well, if you are, not you, Anna, but if we operate in this belief, negative beliefs, feeling negative, questioning ourselves, doubting ourselves, complaining, talking about others in a negative way, all of those things. We're operating down here. We're not operating in that frequency that dream is. And I keep quoting Einstein. He said his famous quote, everything is energy. That's all there is. Match the frequency of your desired reality. That means your dream, match it, and it cannot help but be yours. That's the magic, right? And he said, this is not philosophy, this is physics. And today we call this quantum physics. So that's the second key. And the third key is finding the right map. Finding the right map. And by that we mean we have intuition about it. Every single day we get messages. Once we create that dream, it's like saying, I want to buy that Honda Civic or that Mercedes-Benz. I want to buy that model, even the color, black or red. I want to buy that, right? And as soon as we decide we want it, or we buy it, we might drive it out of the showroom, our reticular activation system changes our filtering system, which we all have, because we have so much information coming into us that we have to have a filtration system to block out what's not important. It changes it to allow us to see that car every time it comes near us on the road. That's how it is. It's not that there were hundreds more on the road, it's that suddenly we notice them. And that same reticular activation system works in exactly the same way when we say, this is what I want, this is my dream, and we make the commitment and the decision. So that's part of that being clear, number one, that we're having it. So we don't have to know how. And that's where most of us
need to have a dream, have a clear, crystal clear. And then the second one is to have that
vibrational match.
And then the second one was the map to get there.
The first one is clarity and specificity with the dream and write it out. The second one is becoming a vibrational match to that, which means directing our thoughts to be over 500 hertz. Directing the way we think.
You say three things. What is the third one?
That's the second one. The third one is the right map. So
the right map.
I was just in the middle of talking about where we call it our intuition. So our intuition is there for us every single day. However, often we don't hear the messages that we get. And when we learn to listen to the voice of our intuition, then we get directed like we're following a map. And that's
okay. So that is how you keep the dream alive. You got it crystal clear. You keep the vibration, and then you follow the map.
So, and also within that, be it matching the vibration, it's making that commitment and that decision, and reading your dream every single day or 2 or 3 times a week. Because if you just write it down, put it away and forget about it, you're not going, like you say, life gets in the way, the momentum slows down, we get stopped. And then suddenly it's another year gone by and we haven't even reread that dream life we wrote down. And maybe we've achieved some of it, maybe we haven't.
That's definitely, because otherwise if everyone who draw the plan of a house, for example, we're about to build a castle, and we know that architect intend to build the castle, and they draw the plan beautifully, perfectly, and then we know a lot of beautiful plans get drawn and kept in the the archives and never get to be built. We knew that. Just like so many good seeds never get to be planted.
Exactly.
So never get to the fruition of the seed. So how do you keep it alive? You got to plant it, and you say follow the map. And usually when on the way following that map, we drop in frequency, doubt kick in, hard work kick ins, challenges kick ins. Like at the end of the year, holiday kick in, and then we drop momentum. For some people who are workaholic, they will feel so uncomfortable. They can't even stop working, even through holiday, because the system has been like, just like momentum. We're rolling in one way, and when we pause, it feels really strange. And for some people, they can't rest. But for some people, they rest too much, they can't kickstart again. Yeah. So that's all those human experience. We all experience that. And we all struggle at the end of the year and toward the beginning of the new year. So what am I saying? How do you deal with that period? And that's why we're talking about today. This is December, and then January, February are the time when we have to pick up the momentum towards our goal. And it's usually hard because the momentum run the opposite way, resting and a lot of drink, a lot of hangover, and then too much food, and the body feeling heavy, and the energy drop, the frequency drop all the way down sometime to the bottom. Yeah. How do you pick up? How do you, kick start again? So because if you dream extraordinary dream, it takes years to actualize it. It doesn't take a week. And so that's why it's hard. Sometimes it takes 10 years. For some dream, it takes 20 years. Yeah. It's not like tomorrow. You dream today and tomorrow will become reality. It doesn't work that way.
You just pressed my buttons again, Anna, because this is a belief, right? Yeah. A dream might take 20 years or 10 years. Why? Did you know that with the magic of the metaphysical world, you can dream something massive up, like I want to, become, I want to earn or build something that's going to cost millions, and I don't have it, and so that's going to be a 10-year dream, because you work out how you're going to do it day by day, month by month, year by year, and yes, by then I'll have the millions to build it. And that's not how it works in the universe. And this is one of the things that Mary teaches, where she did the same thing, and she had the most amazing mentor. I'm trying to think who it was. It doesn't matter for now. And he said, why are you saying 10 years? And she's like, because we don't have the money, and they wanted to build a church. And she said, we're getting donations, and I've worked out. And he said, that's one way of doing it, but you haven't even asked the universe to provide you with another way of doing it. That could take a year. It could take 6 months. And I have the book called U Squared by Price Pritchett that says living your life in a way that we would call U Squared, squaring yourself, doesn't have to take forever. That's another belief. It can happen tomorrow, right? So get that belief out of your head. If you've got a big dream of something you want and you tell yourself it's going to take 10 years, guess how long it will take? 10 years. But if you say, I've got this big dream and I would love to be living this life in as quickly as possible in 6 months, there's a huge possibility that you will achieve it in 6 months, okay? Because you have changed your perception and your way of thinking. So to get back to how to get over this hump of the holidays before we finish off, because I think that's a super important question, Anna, is that most people do that. They work really hard. They wind down at the end of the year. They stop for the Christmas break and look forward to having the parties and, perhaps barbecues and drinking and eating and what have you. And they go, and I'll do that, and then next year I will pick myself into life again. What we do as amazing coaches is we plan what we're going to achieve and also what we're going to participate in the year before. So we've already planned it. We had our planning time in October. That's our planning time. We plan for things that we are doing next year when we're starting, and part of that is already written out in our vision. Our vision for our dream life, that's what I call our vision, already says what I'm having, what I'm achieving, what I'm receiving, already has written down. And so all I have to do is keep reading my written document and maybe do some systems and structures to fit things in, which mostly I've already done in my calendar, as if it's it already happened. And it's a different way of approaching things. Is how can you say I want something or I'm grateful for something as if it's already happened? Well, guess what? You can. Because the universe and your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between you imagining something has happened as a reality and it really happening, and it produces the same chemicals for you every time you think about it, whether it's happened or not. And so then you change your frequency because you've got these good hormones and good chemicals running around in your body because your subconscious mind believes that it's already happened. And so you feel amazing, you feel great, and it's like a snowball effect. And it's all a different way of operating and a different way of thinking.
I will combine the two. One practical way of actualizing what each of us dream to achieve in our life. You know, we put down, let's say this year, I want to support sick families from achieving their financial goal, for example. And then I can combine with the law that you just shared. Just elevate your frequency and operate in a higher plane where you send out the higher level of frequency for the higher goal. The extraordinary goal can get to you more easily, because if you operate at that level, you are less hindered by your doubt and disbelief, right? So when you clear all these doubt and disbelief, you will, I can operate in a higher plane rather than in a lower plane where you have to work much harder. You know, you have to like going pushing against your own doubt and negative beliefs. So combination of reality. What I want to clarify what I meant is some dream takes longer. For example, if the government want to build a stadium in Tasmania for a new AFL team, for example, that would take longer than if they want to build a little hut down the road. Do you know what I mean? So I call that a goal. Maybe it's not a dream, but like if I want to build a small house by the beach, I need about $2-3 million. I can gather $3 million in a much faster way than I want to build something that costs $1 billion. And $1 billion project might gather more people. We need more people. We need a lot of more talking and need a lot of more planning and need a lot of coordinating, you know, just like the metro tunnel, which opened up last week in Melbourne. That was a long project. It took a long time from the moment someone had that in their mind and the dream layout and, you know, getting people involved and then gathering money and then, you know, actualizing that project, inviting architecture and engineer from around the world to come and build that. It took a long time and it took longer than planned. Yes, so that is a big goal, big dream that the government at some point thought it was unachievable. So that took longer. That project took longer than removing a few gates along the way. You know, some of the train station is no longer workable, so they have to remove them. And those projects can be done within a few months. You know, some of them has been removed within a year. So that is longer goal, and I mean a smaller goal and a bigger goal take different time and effort. You know, so you have to move resources, you move people, you move the money, you move the energy, you move so much for something to happen. So that's what I meant by some dream take longer. not
I,
that
can I,
not that I limit myself. So I hope I didn't push your button
no,
too
no, no. Can I comment back
Yep.
to you on that?
Sure.
So here's the thing: you have compared a government or a particular department or business to building something or achieving something big. First of all, the people who are in that system, they don't know this work. They don't know this stuff. They do not understand the power of our thinking and our universe, and they all keep living in the status quo belief that if we set up a big project, we have to do this, that, and this will take that long, and this will take that long, and this will take that long. And they are thinking in the status quo thinking. Nobody is thinking about how there might be a way, if I asked for this to come quickly, millions, billions, we could bring it about, because they don't even ask, Anna. They don't think like that. So I'm still with my point is that you are comparing yourself to that system, those set of beliefs. And while you're doing it, you can't achieve a big goal. If you think it's a 10-year goal, you can't achieve it in 1 year. If you change your thinking and you change your beliefs and you ask for ways of the universe, you will get them. If you say, I want to do a multi-million-dollar project within the next 6 months, how can I do it? Who do I talk to? What would happen if I made a decision to do that? You will get situations, circumstances, ideas, and opportunities that the universe will give you. That's how this works. So I'm still with my point is that you are using a different way of thinking that will hold you back. Anyone who thinks like that, if it's a big goal, that's why I said Mary has a teaching story where she said, I want to build this new church. And it's going to cost 10 million, and it's going to take, or whatever million, 20 million, it's going to take us 10 years to get that. Realistic thought. But we're talking about not being realistic, because saying we have to be realistic is a belief. Yeah. What is your belief around what's possible? Okay? So it's about saying, no, I'm going to do this. This is a dream I have. I want to have a multi-million-dollar home that I can use for on the beach, that I can use for retreats or whatever, right? Something good. And then I want it, we say set our dream, our big goals for 3 years' time, and we date it. Because there's a reason why we date it for 3 years' time. And it's not because it has to take 3 years. It's because if we say in 3 months, that part of your thinking, that part of your mind, those beliefs, those doubts, those fears, those things that come up and challenge your dreams will come up and say, how are you going to do that? Don't be ridiculous. You don't have the money. You don't have the wherewithal to raise 3 million in 3 months, right?
You are speaking to my mind right now. The moment you share what you're sharing, my mind already have that resistant to that belief. Yeah. That's an amazing belief. Yeah. But the old patterns of my mind would say that's impossible. I'm sure that you're facing that when you're sharing this with people. You face that resistance because that is the old pattern way of thinking. It doesn't serve us.
Yeah,
but we hold on. Yeah, we hold on to that. Yes, it's a momentum, right? I'd like to think in the normal way that it knows. And now you challenge that status quo. And I love that. I really love that. You need to tell me more and repeating this. So I adopt that new belief. And I really I want that belief. I want to believe that things can happen faster. Exactly. And raise my frequency. I really want to believe that, because that would be so much easier. Why holding on to old that doesn't really help? Yes, I'm with you. Thank
you. And so what we're saying is we are patterned to think like that. We're programmed. I don't like using the word program because some people object to it. So I'd say we're patterned. We, as humans, this is our way of thinking. We've been patterned to think like this for not decades, not even hundreds, but thousands and more years. And so that's our default system. And we think that's the way things are. When these thoughts come up, and people say things all the time that are these beliefs. Oh, you've got to be reasonable. Oh, how can you know, like you can't, money doesn't grow on trees. It takes time and hard work to become, you know, or to make millions or whatever. And these are all beliefs that will squash your ability to make it happen more quickly. And so we don't even ask for the help from the universe, or whatever you want to call it. It can be the universe, it can be the cosmos, it can be your God, whatever you call that power that you believe in. We don't even ask for the help we really want because of those thoughts that are limiting us to what's possible.
Right.
So I always go back, and on this point, just remember, I always go back to the people who have changed the world in history so far. And I use examples like the Wright brothers, who made the flying machine. That was impossible at the time, and people were saying to them, you can't do it. Their father said to them, and he was a pastor, boys, if God intended you to fly, he would have given you wings. What are you doing? So we get comments from people that are against our dream all the time. And it's about being so committed, at, first of all, being so clear on what your dream life would look like, the big dream, right? And also your why comes into it as well, your purpose. But being so clear on what that dream is and what your why is, what your purpose. And then in specificity of what that would look like for you every day, every week, every month. And then you said, I want to help 6 people. Okay? Our words are so important. If you change that to I have helped 6 people, or I am helping 6 people, because remember the dream is written in 3 years' time. You date it for 3 years, and it's now 3 years have passed, and you're reading it, and it's saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have helped 6 people per year, or whatever it is, right? Instead of I want to. Can you feel the difference in the energy of those statements?
That's
so we
really
change, yeah, it's already happened. And so we change our wording to a way that tells the universe and tells us that this is what we are doing. It's already happened in 3 years' time. And that alone will help to change our thinking around. So I started to say, so it's about being really, really specific and making the decision. That's it. That's what I want. Really looking at it. I have 5 questions where we ask, is this dream right for you? Is this dream right for me? And when we look at it like that and we say, does it align with my core values? And is there some good in it and for everyone? Those are some of the questions. When we can say yes to the 5 questions and we know the dream is right for us, then we say, this dream is right for me. I am doing it. I am committed. This is what I want. And we make that commitment. And then we start.
I love that. Can I read this? Behind every great man is his commitment to his own vision.
Yeah.
Behind every great woman is her dedication to her own mission. How's that? So I'm committed, I'm dedicated. And for me, I don't really, keeping the dream alive is an obvious in something I live with. You know, I can't live without that. Like I'm so glad that even in the darkest moments, in my most doubtful moments in my life, I still keep that dream alive. I still know that I was born for a greater purpose than just making an income and, you know, get by and just to get by. I could not just accept that I was born just to get by. And I was so grateful that I keep that alive, and to the point where I met amazing people who share with me how and to lead the way and help me achieve it. And so I am so with you. I think I need to hear more of what you just said.
I want to. No, Anna, I want to hear more. Need is also a word we don't want to use. Say,
I want to hear more.
Yeah.
I love to hear more, and I do maintain my dream by reading and listening to the right people who are ahead, who is way ahead and achieved what I wish to achieve, because it's the best way to learn from the people who has fruit on the tree, right? And I keep it alive by planning. Like, I know holiday time is a time when things pause, whether you want to pause or not. The whole world pauses for holiday, and that is the cycle of life. And so I also pause, but I plan ahead as well with the help of other people, coaches and mentors I have in the system. So I'm really grateful for that, and I know that I can maintain and keep the dream warm. I keep the thought fixed on it, and no matter what I do, I keep my thought fixed on what I want to achieve next and what I want to do next year. And I love what you share, elevate it, and remove the doubt and change the language as well, so that we can achieve our dream with a higher frequency than just holding on to the old pattern way of doing, because I was in the system for so long. I was just, taught to go through the traditional path of get an education, get a good job, and do what you're told to do, and was patterned in that way for so long. So now changing that and removing a lot of old stuff is still, work in progress. And I'm grateful to be surrounded by people like yourself to remind me life can be much easier. Achieving the goal can be much easier, nicer, easier, lighter as well. So do you want to wrap up our conversation today with something, or
yes, please,
before we move on? Yeah.
Oh, do I want to? Oh, yes. Sorry, I thought you said you wanted to. That was beautiful, and I love that quote you shared about commitment. So yes, there's one thing I want to wrap up with, and it's to share a way to keep your dream alive over these holidays that I listened to and learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza just recently. And it's online, it's on YouTube. Anyone can look it up. And it's 7 minutes to change your life, he calls it. And so he says every morning before you do anything else, before you look at your phone or get distracted with anything else, do this exercise. It only takes 7 minutes. So my goal is to do this every day while these holidays are on, right through. And he said, if you do this, watch how your life will change. So he said, first of all, sit and find a comfortable place to sit. And then do the breathing, because when we do this breathing, it tells our parasympathetic mind to relax. Okay, so he said breathe in for 2, hold for, breathe in for 5, the count of 5, hold for 2. So you always breathe in through your nose, by the way. Breathe in through your nose for the count of 5, hold for 2, and breathe out for 7. And do that 3 times, and that relaxes us, and it just allows us to be in a space. And then he said, sit and feel in your heart, feel gratitude. Feel what that really, love and gratitude, and feel the feeling in your heart. And I always think, in order to do that, if you want a prompt, think about a time or a person in your life who, when you think about that time or them, you feel that amazing, beautiful feeling. And I think of like my baby, when my daughters were babies. Okay, that's for me, when I had that overwhelming feeling of love with these beautiful babies I had. So think of that, get that feeling back into your heart. And then he said, have the vision. Okay, focus on the life you would love to be living. Think about it. Have that vision, create that vision as if it's happening now, the life you want to live, where you want to be living, what you're doing, how much income or what your financial freedom looks like in detail. Picture it. Picture what that dream life would look like. See yourself doing things with your children, your husband, your colleagues, your clients, and how you feel about those times. And that's it. Do it every day. Do this little process for about 7 minutes with no distractions and nobody around before you do anything else. And Dr. Joe says, watch your life change. That's it for today. Merry Christmas to everybody. Wishing you the most amazing break and rest and recreation time with your families and loved ones, and a happy new year, and we will see you in the new year.
Thank you, Karen. That's beautiful. That I think the trick to keeping the dream alive is not that we don't have enough knowledge and way to do it, but to commit to it and do it daily. It's because I believe that if you keep that image in your mind alive every single day for about 5 years, life will change. But the problem is we keep it for a few days and then we drop and go back to, doing the opposite of that. So I think I take that on, and I think we need the environment surrounded by people who are doing that daily with us, and that will be the chance for us to keep this dream alive is higher when you're surrounded by people who are keeping their dream alive. So that may be something I would like to add to that, and I feel I'm grateful for that knowledge, because when you work the job, you operate alone. Because you think that's it, you go to work and you have your company and you learn from the people at work and you perform your role well. But when you actually want to create a life for yourself, then I need to be surrounded by people who have the similar way of life, similar way of thinking, similar way of acting and speaking and thinking, so that we have a different way of life as well. So yeah, so Merry Christmas to everybody, Happy New Year, and I see you back again next year for a whole layout program for the year. So looking forward to that, Karen. And you don't age, you look younger, young and lively, full of energy throughout the years, and I'm amazed at that. How you made that high level, you ever learning and ever youthful, and that's really adorable. It's so nice. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, everyone who watches this, who is here or watching the replay. And we really look forward to being back together. I look forward to being back with Anna next year in January.
Thank you. Cheers. See you.
Bye.